Class 9 students, after giving you an elaborate idea how the discovery of the electron was done by the great physicist J.J. Thomson, I am extending my class towards the discovery of proton. And I hope that this will be also equally interesting as the discovery of electron. But you will get surprised to know that the discovery of proton, the work started even much before the discovery of electron. The discovery of the electron was done in the year 1892, but before that, in 1886 only, great physicist E. Goldstein found the evidence of some positively charged radiations also inside the discharge tube. That I am going to tell you that what was it, how it was discovered, what was the experiment, and what was its achievement in the field of science and structure of atom. So children, by the end of the 1900th century, it became very clear and obvious that no, it is not just the atom which is the smallest particle, but one subatomic particle is surely present inside the atom, and that is negatively charged particle, and they started calling it cathode rays, which was the biggest achievement of the great scientist J.J. Thomson. So I am telling that even before there was an evidence of the positively charged ray also inside the atom, and that was seen by Eugen Goldstein, the scientist. The name of the scientist was Eugen Goldstein, and in the presence of this new radiation, he found that there is a glow in the gas discharge tube, and that glow he found faint red, like you seen that in the J.J. Thomson's experiment, the glow was that's why I have used these two colors. Green represents your electron and reddish pink represents your proton. So this faint pinkish reddish glow was found in the discharge tube experiment in the canal. Now what was canal, that I am telling you, and the year was still much before the 1900, and it was just 1886. Now I am going to explain you what was the discharge tube experiment, because you already have seen one more discharge tube experiment which led to the discovery of electron, children. So I hope that this time it will remain easier for you. So this is just like previous one. This is a hollow glass tube in which the pressure has been kept very low, and instead of keeping air, the most successful experiment of the discharge tube to discover the proton was done when it was filled only with the hydrogen gas. Why I am telling you? Because the hydrogen is the lightest gas, and in the discovery of electron, it was thought that since this negatively charged particle is equally available in every matter, and that is why just air was kept. So in this experiment also it was started just by the air, लेकिन बाद में धीरे धीरे उसको इम्प्रोवाइज करते करते उन लोगों ने लाइटर गैस की तरफ ज्यादा फोकस किया, और हाइड्रोजन में सबसे ज्यादा सक्सेसफुल और सबसे क्लियर एविडेंस मिल गई. वो क्या था अभी मैं आपको क्लियर कर देती हूँ. तो ये डिस्चार्ज ट्यूब है. इन दिस डिस्चार्ज ट्यूब हाइड्रोजन गैस इज फिल्ड विच इज केप्ट एट वेरी लो प्रेशर, एंड आई वाज टेलिंग यू दैट द टेम्परेचर आल्सो इज केप्ट वेरी लो जस्ट टू कीप द gaseous particles apart from each other, so that to ionize it becomes a little easier task. A very high voltage source of electricity has been kept here, and this is your two electrodes. One side it is your anode, and this is your perforated cathode. That is what it is coming a new thing here. Perforated cathode means that cathode inside this cathode has holes in it, and these holes are coated with the zinc sulfide. The coating is here of zinc sulfide. That time it was of phosphorus, but here it will be the coating of zinc sulfide. Now the source of electricity starts. Hydrogen gas is inside the your discharge tube. Maximum of the hydrogen gas has been evacuated by the vacuum pump, and the electricity starts flowing. As soon as the electricity goes to the cathode, then what happens? I am telling you. As soon as the electricity starts flowing, what has been found that from the anode towards the cathode, reddish faint glow was observed, and it was found that since the cathode was kept perforated here, so it is going inside the holes of the cathodes. Look, it is positively charged because it is coming from the anode. ये खुद positively charged particles हैं. या रेज है, और ये अट्रैक्ट हो रहे हैं किधर, तो दिस इज गेटिंग अट्रैक्टेड टुवर्ड्स द कैथोड, एंड दैट इज वाई व्हाट इज फाउंड हियर दैट नियर कैथोड देयर वाज अ फेंट रेडिश glow. It is going inside the holes of the perforated cathode, and I have already told you that the perforated cathode walls are coated with the zinc sulfide, so it has given it glow, and that glow was reddish, faint reddish glow was there. So now I will try to explain you its properties. This was found, and why the hydrogen gas is kept, because you know that hydrogen gas has just one electron. By now you have this idea that it is a lightest element and it has just one electron in it. Apart from one electron, इसके पास एक प्रोटॉन भी है, ये आपको पता है. उसी प्रोटॉन की यहाँ डिस्कवरी हो रही है. तो जैसे ही हाई वोल्टेज ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी हाइड्रोजन को मिलेगी, हाइड्रोजन अपने उस इलेक्ट्रॉन को लूज कर देगा, and it will become hydrogen ion. And what is hydrogen ion? Hydrogen ion itself is just proton, because it is left nothing with any other extra particle except the proton, that positively charged particle, what I meant to say. So that proton is getting attracted towards the negative electrode naturally, because it is itself it is positively charged. It is getting attracted towards the negative electrode, which is your cathode, and it is kept perforated here, so it is going inside. ये इसके अंदर एंटर कर जाती है. ये जो रेज है वो कैथोड में एंटर कर जाते हैं, क्योंकि कैथोड को यहाँ परफोरेटेड रखा गया, पोरस रखा गया है. तो क्योंकि वो परफोरेटेड कैथोड जो है वो एक कैनाल लाइक स्ट्रक्चर है अंदर में, चूंकि ये होल्स है, इट इज मेकिंग अ पैसेज. दैट इज व्हाई इट वाज टोल्ड, इट वाज कॉल्ड दैट ओके, सिंस इट इज फाउंड इनसाइड द कैनाल ऑफ द परफोरेटेड कैथोड, दैट इज व्हाई इट विल बी अ कैनाल रे. इट इज कैनाल रे. So this was just the history of why it is called canal ray, only because it is found inside the canals of the perforated cathode, or holes of the perforated cathode, you can say. So this is your discovery of anode ray. Why? Because it is coming from the anode, which is your positive terminal, and it is getting attracted towards the cathode, which is your negative electrode, and it has seen to be entered inside the holes of the perforated cathode, whatever you say, holes or canals of the perforated cathode. That is why the first name was given as canal ray. Now to confirm the charge of the canal ray, it is looking that it is positively charged because it is getting attracted by the electrostatic pull of the cathode. But इसको और भी confirm और ascertain करने के लिए एक electromagnetic radiation से भी इसकी confirmation की गई, जो कि plates की तरफ होती है. तो that I will tell you now. So two electrically charged plate in the electromagnetic field was kept around the discharge tube. One is your positive plate, another is your negative plate, and the electromagnetic field was generated by the electromagnetic radiations. Now what has been seen that this ray was bending towards the negative plate and moving away from the positive plate. But one more pattern was there, that unlike the cathode ray, which was moving continuous in the form of ray, it was found like the patches, red patches was found near the wall of the your discharge tube. Why this is found? That why it is coming in the pattern of little gaps have been observed between the your cathode ray, not a continuous movement. So that I am telling you now. Reason behind this is that it was found that this anode ray is a mass bearing particle. Naturally it has mass, that is why its speed will not be as high as electron, and that is why it can happen that it will have little much breaks in its movement. It will show gaps in its movement. It will not look as continuous as your cathode ray. So this is a mass bearing particle and charge bearing particle. More or less it is particle than ray, but since it is found to be obtained in the canal of the your perforated cathode, that is why first name was cathode ray, since it is coming from the anode of the your discharge tube there, so it is called as anode ray. And finally it was called proton. It is positively charged particle, proton. So that's how the discharge tube experiment became more successful in the discovery of both type of charged particle which are present inside the atom. एक मिली इलेक्ट्रॉन और दूसरी हमारे पास प्रोटॉन भी आ गई। अब हो गया इलेक्ट्रॉन का स्ट्रक्चर काफी हद तक क्लियर। ये कैसे होगा ये हम अपनी नेक्स्ट क्लास में जान पाएंगे, बिकॉज माई नेक्स्ट क्लास विल बी ऑन द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ एटम फाइनली. What was the first proposed model of the atom given by the J.J. Thomson, that I am going to tell you. It was about the neutrality of the atom, because we have both type of particles, charged particles, positively and negatively charged. So now try to understand that what is the characteristic features of the proton. Naturally, it is equal and opposite in charge. The magnitude of the charge is equal and opposite as that of electron. So the charge was equal and opposite, but apart from the charge, it differs from mass in respect of mass from the electron. How? Because the electron mass was found around 2000 times smaller than this particle. This particle has mass, significant mass, which is called the 1 unit mass, and that mass is your mass of proton, and this is your 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram, which we also call unified mass. And I am telling you that the charge is equal and opposite. तो क्या चार्ज थी इलेक्ट्रॉन की? आपको याद होगा कि मैंने कहा था कि 1 कूलॉम की चार्ज थी, which is the smallest possible charge that has been calculated by the great scientist Millikan. So that charge was in the positive side, and here it is in the positive side, it is here in canal rays, and it was in the negative side there in the cathode ray. So plus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, which is the smallest possible positive charge which has been found over the canal ray proton, you may can say. Name was given proton, and it was symboled as P plus, just like the electron has been given symbol as E minus. It is given symbol of P plus. So this is the subatomic particle. Just like electron, it is also a subatomic particle which is found inside the matter. But now I am going to tell you one very specific thing which will make it different from electron. Different तो ये है ही, क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रॉन के पास चार्ज भी अपोजिट है, इलेक्ट्रॉन के पास मास भी नेग्लिजिबल है, और इसके पास प्लस चार्ज है, मास भी है. तो ये मोस्ट फंडामेंटल पार्टिकल की कैटेगरी में आता है, बिकॉज द प्रोटॉन हैज बोथ ऑफ द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक charge and mass available on it. Now apart from that, it is also getting affected by the type of matter. ये एक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर है यहाँ पे. इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है वो टाइप ऑफ मैटर से अफेक्ट नहीं होता, क्योंकि मैटर मान लीजिए मेटल है या नॉन मेटल है या जो भी है, मैटर जिस भी टाइप की है, तो उसमें इलेक्ट्रॉन है, और इलेक्ट्रॉन के पास क्योंकि मास नहीं है, इसलिए उसके किसी भी तरह से उसमें कोई डिफरेंस नहीं आती, वो इक्वली अवेलेबल है, एक ही तरह का इलेक्ट्रॉन सब में मिलेगा. लेकिन प्रोटॉन में कुछ डिफरेंस आ जाती है. प्रोटॉन सिंस गिव्स मास टू द एटम, proton gives not only charge but mass also to the atom, so that is why it will depend on the matter, what material we are taking. Just like in the case of hydrogen, it has 1 unit positive charge and one mass and 1 unit नेगेटिव चार्ज. तो मान लीजिए इसकी जगह हमने हीलियम ले लिया, तो हीलियम में कितनी मास है? हीलियम में 4 यूनिट मास है. तो नेचुरली देन यू विल सी दैट द पैटर्न ऑफ द एनोड रे विल बी डिफरेंट, वेयर एज द पैटर्न ऑफ द कैथोड रे विल बी इक्वली एंड आइडेंटिकली सीन इन एवरी मैटर. वो मैं कहना चाह रही हूँ आपसे कि जो कैथोड रे की रे लाइक पैटर्न है वो सब में बिल्कुल एक जैसी दिखेगी, जबकि इसमें कहीं पे आपको थोड़ी ज्यादा कंटिन्यूटी दिखेगी और कहीं पे आपको थोड़ी कम, कहीं थोड़ी ज्यादा गैप्स मिल सकते हैं. वाई? बिकॉज इफ द मैटर इज हेवियर, इफ द एलिमेंट इज हेवियर, देन इट मे कैन, इफ द गैस filled inside the discharge tube is little heavier, then it will travel little slower. And that is why you can see that there will be bigger gaps between the patches. So this is my you can say short and informative lecture over the discovery of proton, children, and I hope that you will get most benefited out of this lecture, and your concept of the structure will become clearer in my coming classes.